Liverpool, pay Mo Salah. I wish I had a more nuanced approach to this, a deeper opinion, but this one's not that complicated. I know he's 32. I know the drop-off's coming. I don't care. Pay Mo Salah. Fenway Sports Group, get out the checkbook and pay the man. It's not as complicated as everybody's making it out to be. We're going to talk about why that is next, here on Pints and Punditry at the Pitchside Pub. You know, sometimes on this channel we like to get into the nuance. I like to break down some of the trickier situations in the football world, the complicated issues, and really have a discussion about why they're so complicated and why maybe the media is missing something big or the fans are missing a key element that really should change the way it's being covered. This is not one of those situations. This one is simple. Pay Mo Salah. Liverpool, pay him. Fenway Sports Group, pay him. Back up the Brinks truck. Get out the checkbook. Pick your cliche. I don't care what it is. Just pay the damn man before he leaves for somewhere else. Because Mo Salah, at 32, can still play. Now, I understand there's complicated issues here with Virgil van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold also needing contract extensions. By the way, pay them too. But in Mo Salah's case in particular, this one is not that complicated and not nearly as big of an issue as it's being made out to be. And most of that is Liverpool's fault. So we're going to talk about why that is next. But before we do, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me down below so you can follow the channel. Get in that comment section. What do you think about Mo Salah? Should he re-up? Should Liverpool sign him or just thank him and send him on his way? Get in that comment section. Let me know what you think. You can also leave comments on Twitter at PitchsidePub and check out the website pitchsidepub.com. So I know the arguments. The arguments here are not complicated. Mo Salah's 32. That drop-off is coming. The age cliff is coming. When? We don't know. It's different for every player, but we know it's coming and probably coming pretty soon. Now, we can argue that Mo Salah is in fantastic shape, as most footballers are, but even by footballing, by professional footballing standards, by the elite athletes in the world kind of standards, Mo Salah is in ridiculously good shape. He's also in ridiculously good form. Look at what he's done this season. 14 Premier League games, 13 goals, and 8 assists under a new manager, by the way, where we didn't know what Liverpool was going to be this year, despite my support of Arne Slot. And if you haven't seen my video on Arne Slot, that's definitely go check that out. That's where a lot of my followers have come from. So I probably have a big Liverpool contingent following the channel now. And we all know that what Liverpool has done this season is better than any of us could have imagined. But under a new manager, you expect some bumps in the road. And, Mo Salah played for Jurgen Klopp for a long time. And yet, boom, Arne Slot comes in and look at the performance. So, yeah, the cliff is coming from Mo Salah, but it's not here yet. We're not even seeing remote signs of him slowing down. He's got a few more assists in the Champions. I mean, the guy's just playing all-world football right now, and he looks like he's back to being the best right wing in the world. I don't think that's a stretch to say that. He's certainly in the top 1 or 2. And I don't know that we saw that coming for him to be back at that level at 32. He's been good. He has never really had this major drop-off. He was good last year, just not by his standards. But this is back to the Mo Salah of old. Now, this is not sustainable long-term. So when I say pay him, there are some caveats. And the details of this have not been reported too great that I've seen. It's more of just Mo Salah saying, hey, I haven't even gotten an offer yet. I haven't heard anything from Liverpool. And that alone is why this is so ridiculous. Because I could see if Mo Salah was holding out for 5 years, and Liverpool said, well, no, we don't want to give a 32-year-old 5 years or even 4 years. And that was where there's a difference. They said, well, here's an offer for 2 years at good money, same wages, whatever, something like that. And he goes, no, I want 4. Okay, if that's what was being reported, and if I'm missing something, if I'm not seeing the right reports, get in the comment section, leave me some links, because I've been looking pretty hard to see how this is going to play out, and I haven't seen this. I could see if that was the difference, especially in the years with an older player, because that drop-off is coming. Maybe his is at 35, not 33. We don't know, but it is coming. Father Time remains undefeated. But if that's the caveat, if that was the caveat, I would understand it. But what we're hearing from Salah's camp is, no, they haven't even made me an offer. And that I simply don't understand. Now, it's hard to critique Fenway Sports Group too much because they do run business as well. They run sports business as well, but they have been known to cheap out a little bit at times. I am generally on board with the management philosophy of letting a guy go 1 year too early rather than 1 year too late. And this feels like it could have been that situation, right? Yes, Salah has a great year or two left after this, but rather than end up stuck on the back end with a high-paid player who is no longer playing up to that caliber, you're going to let him go, and yeah, you let him go a year too early, but that's better than being stuck with him a year too late. I generally think that's the right philosophy, but not when you've got enough money, not when you're trying to win a title, and not when it's a club legend. Again, I would not offer him 4 or 5 years, but offer him 2, maybe a third if you absolutely have to. But I think if you go to Mo Salah right now and say, we're going to give you 2 years at massive wages, he'll jump at it. He'll take it. He doesn't really want to go to Saudi. Maybe he does, but I don't think he does. He's still performing at a high level. So I think he would jump at that. That's all he wants to see. And yeah, you're on the hook for big-time wages the next 2 years, but there's a light at the end of that tunnel, and I think that probably gets it done. What is the downside to that? Because the way he's playing, it looks pretty good that you're going to get at least 1 more good year out of him, if not 2. The risk in that short-term contract is just mitigated. So you're paying a ton, but it's not as longer term. You have to go long-term with the Trent Alexander-Arnolds, probably still Virgil van Dijk, and the fact that all 3 of these guys are hanging over Liverpool's head is part of the complicated aspect of this situation. And a report came out, I think just today, about how Salah has yet to receive an offer, but Virgil van Dijk has, and Salah's camp is saying, well, maybe they're prioritizing going after the captain over Salah. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. These things aren't that hard. If you want to make offers, make offers. You got everybody's phone number. They've been on your team for a decade now. You play every game they're around. I mean, just make the offers. It's not that hard. It's not hard to make multiple offers at once either. So this is definitely being done deliberately by Fenway Sports Group, and it's ridiculous. Pay the man what he wants, keep him around, because you are running the risk of alienating a fan base and torpedoing your season this year, and that part has to be factored in. This season is still happening, and Liverpool is in great shape, but it could be destroyed by the fact that you don't re-up this club legend, and the fan base turns on you. Perhaps the locker room turns on you. Perhaps Mo Salah turns on you. You don't know how it's going to play out, but it's not good. Most of the options, most of the scenarios there are not good for Liverpool. And if they were, still rebuilding under Slot and they were in 4th or 5th place and didn't have a potential title at risk here, then maybe you go, okay, Mo, thank you for your services and it's time to go. But they're trying to win a title. They are currently leading the Premier League and the Champions League, and yet their 3 best players, or 3 of their stars, 3 of their stalwarts, are not under contract. And again, that's next year's problem, but it's leaking into this year. It is not just next year's problem, because these are humans. This is not FIFA. This is not Football Manager. This is not done in spreadsheets. And nobody likes spreadsheets more than I do, but these are human beings who have to go out and play and talk to each other in the locker room and go out and socialize afterwards and have long flights together where they talk about this stuff. It can take over a locker room. So Liverpool, get it done. Get them all done. Get them all done now before you destroy this season while you're worrying about the next half a decade. You're going to put a title that is in your grasp. You're going to put that at risk. A possible double, a possible domestic and European double is at your grasp, and you are not paying the people who you are actively asking to go win you these trophies. It's just so short-sighted. So in Mo Salah's case, listen, if there was a drop-off in the performance, I would get it. If he was asking for a ton of years, I would get it again. I have not seen that, but if I'm missing that, let me know. But other than that, other than a massive discrepancy in the years, Liverpool offers 2, Mo Salah wants 5. Other than that, pay the man. Sometimes these issues, sometimes these decisions are just so simple. They are not as complicated as we make them out to be. And this, particularly in Salah's case, more so than Van Dijk and Alexander-Arnold, particularly in Salah's case, seems like it's one of the easiest decisions Fenway Sports Group could make. And the fact that they haven't even made an effort, made an offer to Salah, if you believe his camp, if that is true, the fact they haven't even done that yet is really, really astonishing for a sports ownership group that, generally speaking, knows what they're doing. They got the Arne Slot hiring right. They nailed that. They've put together great teams. They've got great leadership. And yet they are just missing the boat on this one. They should get all 3 deals done. They should extend Van Dijk at the right price. They should definitely extend Alexander-Arnold. And they should extend Mo Salah and get it done now before it is too late. What do you think? Is that right? Is Fenway Sports Group, are Liverpool dropping the ball? Should Salah stick around? Should he go elsewhere? Should he want to go elsewhere? Get in that comment section. Let me know what you think. I'd love to get your thoughts on this, particularly if you are a Liverpool supporter. You can also leave comments on Twitter at PitchsidePub. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for me down below if you don't already follow the channel, and check out the website pitchsidepub.com. Thanks as always for joining us here on Pints and Punditry at the Pitchside Pub.